Welcome to today's Strength Conversation. I'm Jane Liebecker, coming to you from Seattle, Washington, and I am an Eddie Villa certified coach. And I love to use the Clifton Strengths Assessment in my life and in my business.
I am Monetta Fields, joining you from Laurel, Maryland. I'm an Eddie Villa certified coach as well. And I can just say that having the results of that Clifton Strengths Assessment has been incredibly awesome for both family and business.
I'm Spring Davidson, hollering at you from Port Orange, Florida, so East Coast, where it's getting to be summer. I also am an Eddie Villa certified coach, and I'm just very thankful that Eddie came into my life when he did. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today, Spring. We're going to ask you a few questions. The first of which, can you share what your dominant domains are?
Do you want me to just say the names? I'm just going to say my statement. I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire to do things the right way. And that's everything. To be creative, to think very deeply, and to learn continuously.
Love that. And so how did you learn about strengths? And then once you learned about them, how did that feel to you?
I learned about them through a leadership meeting that I was at, a convention. And they were like, it's the next best thing to sliced bread. Take your assessment. So I did. And then I looked at the report and said, oh, and that means, okay, now what do I do with it? And then I found out what the second part of that question was.
After you really learned what your strengths were, what did that feel like?
Oh my goodness. I felt like I could see all the puzzle parts of me. It's like everything that I ever thought about, everything I wanted to do, everything I thought of doing, it was like the biggest light bulb moment of my entire life. It was like, oh, they were popping everywhere. I thought, wow, that's really cool. I'm kind of not so bad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of cool. In my head. It's all in my head.
As a strategic thinker, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk to you today about harmony. Where is harmony in your top 10?
Harmony is number 10.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to explain to those who are listening what Gallup describes harmony as. So people exceptionally talented in the harmony theme look for consensus. They don't enjoy conflict. Rather, they seek areas of agreement.
And that is right on the nose.
Okay.
Right on the nose. I don't like conflict at all. Could be a childhood thing, but even as an adult, I don't like it. Don't like the fighting. There's no reason to argue. Just sit down and work it out, talk it out, write it down if you have to. Yeah, I'm seeking areas of agreement. It's just like, everybody just be nice, please.
Why doesn't everybody do this, right? So if harmony is your number 10, Spring, what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths?
My number 1 is responsibility, and number 5 is intellection.
Got it. So tell us how you use harmony. Give us an example.
I could give a couple examples. I know that harmony for me at number 10, it's down where my relationship building strengths are. I'm all executing and strategic thinking. I'm all in my head. Make a list, get her done. Productivity is, and it's all got to be done the right way. So when I'm working, I need a flow. The flow has to make sense. And harmony helps me to create the workflow that's makes sense. It's easy. It's simplified. It's the right process. That's where harmony comes in for me when it comes to like my main domains. When it comes into the people part of my lower strengths, harmony says I can walk into a room and I can feel what the mood is. I can feel if there's tension. I can feel if there's happiness, excitement, etc. I can feel if this person is having an issue with that person. It's a very feely, emotional strength. I can feel, so like when my work process, if a platform changes something and I log in and I'm like, you didn't tell me you're changing this, and I got to click 5 times to get to where I clicked once before, it ruffles my feathers. But that's the process part of the harmony flow. Don't mess with my flow. And when it comes to the people, being able to feel, what's going on, it gives me a sense of how I can be of service, whether to stay in the room or do I just nicely walk back out.
Okay. Specifically, how do you think harmony interacts with your responsibility and intellection?
Things have to be, so if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And the piece that comes, there always has to be prayer. I do sometimes, but the basements of responsibility take on too much. So then the harmony for me is my flow is off. I've done too much to it. So harmony and responsibility, they really play nice together. Responsibility needs to keep in mind that harmony needs the room to breathe and space to rest, even though responsibility doesn't want to rest.
So true.
And intellection is just going to be the boss, the quiet boss. But the brain, it's all in there. It's all in there. It just thinks, the brain thinks about what needs to be done next and how everything's going to work together. And is this person going to be this person? And it puts all those pieces together before anything really happens.
Wow.
Okay.
So what do you like about that harmony?
I love being able to feel people out. I love knowing if a process, I like being able to take someone's business process and look at it and say, okay, I can help you. First, we're going to do and then give them an order of where it's going to flow and make sense. I love being that's like my jam. I still haven't quite figured out how to do that with people. And that's probably something I don't like about harmony is I'm not very outspoken because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Empathy's, coming up a few strengths later, but I don't, I don't want to upset anybody else's flow and rhythm. So more times than not, I will just keep my thoughts to myself unless I'm asked and given permission, like to really be honest. Then even then, I'm very careful with what I say.
Okay, that was well said. So what would you say to somebody who's being hesitant about taking the Clifton Strengths Assessment?
Just do it. Responsibility at number one. Okay, I'm honest and I'm loyal. Do what I'm saying I'm going to do. But number one is I'm honest. So if I say, just do it, you won't regret it. Trust me. Just trust me. You won't regret knowing your puzzle pieces. And you'll have some serious aha moments of, wow, for instance, when I was in college 25 years ago, I remember saying to people and to some of my professors, I could be a student forever. I just love being at college. Then I get my report all these years later and inputs at number 2. Hello, and learner at number 4. I like to learn. That was one of those light bulbs that that's why I'm always taking classes. Okay, then. So it'll open up, it'll just light bulbs, everybody. Just do it.
I love it.
Yes, thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you, Spring.
Thanks for having me.
Really nice conversation. We know more about harmony now. Thank you.
Welcome.